What's something people don't know about podcast disclaimers? They're the ultimate cover our butts move. All right, folks, let's get real. You know those disclaimers at the start of podcasts? The ones that say these opinions are our own and not our employers, friends, or anyone who might sue us. Yeah, those. Why do we need them? Because Stacey and Casey here, well, we might say something bonkers. And we don't want you blaming our bosses, our moms, or that guy who bagged our groceries last week. Nope, it's all on us, people. Think of it like this. We're just two dudes with microphones and way too much free time. And while we're at it, let's be clear. Our jokes, rants, and random thoughts, purely our own genius or nonsense. Depends on the day, so sit back, relax, and remember, if you're offended, it's definitely not because of our employers. It's all Stacey and Casey, baby. Covering our butts, one disclaimer at a time.
What it is, Drive Turkeys. My name's Casey.
I am Stacey.
And we are the Stacey and Casey Show. Now, if you're feeling sad today, you need a friend or somebody to talk to.
Go sit in the corner and cry, bitch.
Or sit in the corner and cry.
Oh, sorry.
Bitch.
It was motivational. My bad. My bad.
Hey, it is a beautiful day in St. Louis. Missouri is where it's at. Hope y'all
try that.
Good morning. Wait, what are we trying? The whole intro? Why does it sound like we're echoing? It's fucking with me. Does it sound like, is it me?
It's the echo.
Okay. All right.
Echo.
That sounds normal. All right. Let's start over again. Hi, my name's Stacey. Fuck. Start it over. Hi, my name's Casey.
Hi, I'm Stacey.
And we have a show.
Something like that.
Nailed it.
Hey, that's funny.
Nailed it. Hey.
Gotta be gentle. Gotta be gentle. You know, a gentle giant over here.
Hey, speaking of which, something beautiful came out of my hand surgery, and that is the knife that came from the wreckage, so to speak.
Well,
but
jump right in. I was gonna ask how life's been, but I mean,
oh yeah. Sorry, and that's pretty much my life lately. It's been going to doctors and waiting to finish this fucking knife. That's why I'm so excited to bring it up. Hey, I got talked into going to urgent care, and I'm glad I did because it turned out that I had cut one of my tendons and along with the bone. So they had to do a lot of work in there and sew up some shit and
stitch it back together.
Yeah, I get my stitches off on the 9th, so that'll be cool. But this knife is sharp as fuck. It's called my little bone cutter because I literally cut a bone. And actually, check out the sharpness. Check this out. If anybody knows anything about knives, when you show the sharpness, you show by cutting paper. And this thing just cuts right through the paper. Voila.
Sharp blade right there.
So we're gonna put it right here in the gorilla's hand because he is.
That is the theme of the show, as you can see.
Yeah, the gorilla. That was a funny video.
I mean, speaking of having doctors, I'm curious. I've gotten older. How do you pick your doctors? Like, what are some of the things you look for? What are some of the need to knows? Something that you're like, all right, I'm not going back there. Or what are some red flags? What are some green flags? When you're picking your kids' doctors? What are some of the things you thought of?
This isn't something that I took serious until actually recently in my adulthood. But I think about it. When I was a kid in California, under the age of 18, I went wherever my parents told me to go.
Yep.
So I had the regular doctor. And then after that, I joined the Marine Corps. And if I needed anything, you go to the medic, Navy, and they take care of you. And then when I moved out here to Missouri, I pretty much went to any specialist I had to for a car accident or whatever. Normal physicians, didn't do any research. I just went to wherever my wife went. It's just, I didn't care. I was healthy, happy, no problems. Fast forward. Now it seems like my body's falling apart at a rapid speed. and I'm trying to hold it together. So I'm like trying to find a good doctor. So now what I look for is not necessarily convenience, like the place that's closest, but whoever looks like they're the most knowledgeable or the person that looks like they give a damn and they're not there to pass the buck.
Well, it's funny because what brought this up, you were here when the conversation happened. Stacy's pediatrician is retiring. And I was telling you the way we picked his doctor was we went with age because they've seen it, right? And this goes with last week about the think it versus learning it, and you know what I mean, living it versus learning it. And when I look at a doctor, I look at someone who is older,
Yeah.
someone who is either foreign, right,
Mhm.
or of my color. Not to sound racist in any way, shape, or form, but who knows you better than you, right? And then the foreigners, I like them because they shoot you straight. They'll tell you you're fat and you need to lose weight. They don't sugarcoat it like, well, you know, you're a little obese. No, they just straight up tell you you're fat. Watch 600-pound Life if you haven't. They'll tell you. I like honesty. You know this. Everybody who knows me knows that. So I'm thinking as I'm older, what doctor do I want to go with? Do I want to go with aged and experienced? But you're at that age where they could be so set in the stone that they could miss new medical treatment. Or do you want to go with the new guy who might have got through college on Chat GPT and is just going to give you some medicine? It's a hard thing
Well,
to choose from, and it's
wouldn't one safe answer be like you'd want to go with the old guy for your general physician so he can say, okay, you need to go see this guy because I've seen this before. That's definitely a hand problem, so you need to go see a hand specialist. Or hey, this is
now.
the
Do you want
lung.
the specialist to be young?
Now the specialist, that's I don't think at that point does it. I guess it goes by reputation. You kind of look at the
That's
stats like an Amazon. See how many
how many stars this guy got? All right, they lost a hand there. We're not going there. But well, I just think about that because it's the young doctors versus old doctors, which we talked about, and I think that I'm scared because of the new age technology. Is the doctor as smart as they used to be? Are they as smart as they used to be? Because older doctors learned the information, they had to retain it. New doctors have technology where you can type in a few buttons and now you have to be selective about it, right?
Mhm.
Well, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. Does that make them smarter, more knowledgeable, or does that make them more dangerous because one wrong click could misdiagnose you completely?
Well, I think it depends on the special. I mean,
Well, I'm
for,
asking you because the reason I'm asking you this specifically, I'm going to give the crowd a reason why. Casey went to several doctors telling them, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong. Nobody believed him. He finally got his answers, right?
right.
Was it a young doctor or old doctor that gave you the answer? Or maybe
Actually,
middle-aged?
it was the same doctor that I felt has been blowing me off every time I went with these same problems. And I finally talked to somebody, a friend, and after troubleshooting amongst ourselves, came up with the answer. It's got to be this. This and swear to God, I went to my doctor and I told him, hey, I think you should test me for this. And without even making eye contact, he was like, why should I test you for that? I was like, because somebody said that that's what it is and blah, blah, blah. I made something up. I forget what the lie was. It was a good lie. And he said, fine, we'll have you test. And the test came back positive. And this was something that I found after years of saying, hey, I know I got something down this road. Check for stuff. Nobody could figure it out. They keep saying no. They kept passing the buck. And finally, I had to figure out the answer to myself. So next time I go to a doctor, I'm going to be the one looking for somebody more knowledgeable because I'm not going back to the same guy that I've been going to because
Was
he
he young?
honestly,
Is he old?
he's actually young. And the answers that he gives me not only don't make sense, it's like
He's typing it in a computer. I promise
I
you.
can type this shit in a computer
But I'm
and get better
saying,
answers than what
hey,
he's giving me. And I shouldn't talk bad about him. I'm sure he's very knowledgeable. He's had good
first off,
customers.
we've
But
all typed something in the computer, ended up on WebMD, and thought we were dying.
we all thought we had.
So, like, so let's not jump down to where, they're dumb. But I will say, we're in a new world where the young people, this entitlement that we've talked about, this shit that pride, ego gets in the way of hearing the patient, I feel like.
Yes.
And they want to be right so bad because they want to make the diagnosis of some rare shit that 1 in 0.0001,000 people get it or whatever, and be this one to find it. No, it could just be the flu.
I'm the other way around. They want to pass it off as the flu or something, and it's something beyond that. They don't want to look into it. You know, it's like,
Oh, so they're lazy.
they're lazy. It's like, to find the answer to this, I'm gonna have to do doctoring. Oh, dude, you have strep. Yeah, dude, you got strep. Just get out of here.
And I really believe that to be the answer.
I 100%
I say that
believe
because
that in my
little
heart of
man,
hearts.
the one time we had to go to the younger doctor at the pediatrician, they tested him for strep, said he was good to go. 3 days later, we get a call. We're getting ready to go to the sporting event. He's got strep. What? You just said he didn't. Oh, you sent it off for lab testing. Now I'm so tired of misdiagnoses. My dad swore up and down he was misdiagnosed for diabetes. I really wholeheartedly believe it. He died at 50. His brother is well into his 70s. His other brother, was well into his 70s when he passed. So genetics couldn't have been the code there. Something went wrong in the medical chart. And I really believe it was because my mom pushed him to go to this doctor that was an older doctor and was set in his ways. And that's why I asked this question, because I always wonder, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place in every aspect, not just politics, not just at the grocery store, but even in our doctors.
And my true answer is, if you truly want to know what's wrong with you, look into yourself. Do research. No one's going to care about you more than you, because that doctor has 1 million patients, and he's not going to go dig in the books for you when he's getting the same paycheck just by writing you off and making you come back to another visit. I hate to say that, but I honestly believe that doctors blow you off.
I think it was different when you had the private practice that wasn't attached to the hospital. When you would see the doc, like for instance, I remember my original doctor, Dr. Leahy, after Dr. Whatever his name was, but he's in a lawsuit now, so I don't want to mention his name. But as far as Dr. Leahy, he had a private practice in his own building. You didn't go to the hospital to see him. He wasn't attached to any building. Does anybody have a doctor like that anymore? Besides people, do you go to the hospital when you see your doctor? Where do you go see him?
No, it's usually right next to the doctors. They're right next to the hospital or something. My last doctor, though, it was right above an urgent care, and it seemed less professional for some reason. And and I think it also depends what you go for. I think there's specialists, like for example, my hand doctor. He was fucking awesome. I never went to another hand doctor before, but he was 36 years old. You could tell he had red hair, even though he was pretty much bald, but he had a good frontal lobe. So he, like I said, he had the smart look to him. He had clear eyes, looked you in the eyes when he talked, had confidence, said, "We're gonna get in there. Looks like he has some tendon damage. We're gonna fix that up while we're in there. It's regular procedure for us. Sounds good. We'll see you soon." He seemed knowledgeable, went back. After every time I felt something hard on my hand, like a grind or something, like they're in there like grinding bone, he'd be like, "How you holding up? Everything good?" "Yeah, everything's fine." Knowledgeable, nice, and it was A, B, and C was fixed. He didn't have to troubleshoot. It was all plain as day. So it was like
But
math.
that's a specialist.
It was like math to a specialist, where sometimes it takes troubleshooting. Like, okay, you have these symptoms.
Well, that's your general
that could be
physician.
this.
Troubleshoots everything.
Yeah,
So why even go to a general physician?
general medicine. But then they say, okay, well, this is ears, nose, and throat, or this is, you know what I mean, or this.
But why have a general physician?
Usually, the general physician is the jack of all trades.
If you know your stomach's messed up, why not just go to a stomach specialist?
Because if you, for example,
it's a business, just like Paula said, they keep us sick by downplaying, or they give us meds to mask issues, and we ultimately get sicker.
Yes,
it's money. So if I send you to the general physician, we hit you for your insurance once. Now they're going to send you to a specialist. I hit you again.
And my deductible goes up because the specialist just costs $60 instead of $20.
That specialist might send you to another specialist after they get done with you, called the rehabilitation.
You were right, because my specialist said, "I don't know why he sent you to me." And I never went back after that because it felt like I was playing a fucking useless game of pay a deductible.
These are the things where we don't live in a country that's made to get us healthy, and it's scary. But I do like what I saw is that supposedly Pepsi is scrambling right now to get proper ingredients, because RFK is doing what he said and doing the war on health. But as far as my bad, kids, we got a blinking light here is driving him crazy, so I had to go grab it. But speaking of a blinking light, the power outage in Europe. Has everybody heard of this? If not, let me play something for you really quick. Just give you a quick glimpse. It's pretty crazy.
Officials in Spain and Portugal are investigating what caused yesterday's wide-scale power outage, one of the most serious blackouts Europe has ever experienced. Power has almost been fully restored to millions of customers, although there is still severe disruption to travel after flights were grounded and trains were brought to a standstill, leaving passengers stranded for hours.
What would you do?
My very first thought is thank God that happened there and not here. Because if it happened here, riots, places getting burned. I just
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I think
9/11, everybody banded together. Every natural disaster, any disaster that is a true world disaster, people have came together.
I don't know. I see the worst in people in the United States sometimes.
But where have you seen? And I ask this for the people listening as well. When has a riot took place
I'm not
during
gonna
a
lie.
natural disaster?
I was looking online to see if like riots were starting in mayhem, and other than traffic and people freaking out, I couldn't find of anybody like, mass looting and stuff. But I think that's what a lot of people would do here. Heck, they do it here without even reason. And if all the power grid goes out for a week, well, I guess how long was it out there for?
Every riot I've seen, looting was part of a riot. It wasn't part of this is
power
a
outage.
disaster.
Yeah, power outage.
You know what I'm saying? But even then, you think 9/11, people banded together in New York. You think about the hurricanes, people banded together. Anytime there's been a true disaster,
Yeah,
we in
hurricane.
America have truly banded together. The American flag was flying at an all-time high during 9/11,
Mhm.
right? So I think about we as a country during disaster band together, but a cop kills somebody, something like that. Yeah, shit gets broken, shit gets damaged, but that's the point of a riot is for attention.
Well, you
That's
know
the
how
whole
people
point of a
freak
riot.
out, like even like in a classroom and stuff, and the lights go out unexpectedly, or you're at work and the whole room goes dark. Everyone's like, "Ooh."
But the moment you have someone who takes control and is a leader and says, "Hey, calm down, the lights went out. Sit down." Everybody listens.
This is planned. Take off your pants. Oh shit! Yeah,
Well, I
take off
mean
your
that
pants.
is crazy. But I'm saying, like, if you think about it, even in class, your teacher would be like, calm down, sit down." Everybody would chill out.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's during a disaster. That's normally what happens. You have a president that comes out. We got this under control. Somebody says something.
So
But
your
in
question
this,
was, what
but hear
would
me
you
out.
do?
In this though,
Okay,
they don't have that ability.
right.
There's no power.
No power.
So what would you do? Because you can't call Paula. You can't call anybody. Your cars still work. They do have evidence the cars were working. So it wasn't an EMP, right? What would you do?
That's easy. Make my way home.
Just curious. I think that's
And
the
I'd
most
probably
common answer.
try to somehow pick up water on the way because we got that well. It runs on electricity, and until we have solar paneling and backup battery, we're without water, without power. So we need some tanks.
I think we'd be out without water too, though, if we don't have power. I mean, I'm sure.
Well, if the whole grid's down, I'm sure you probably don't want to use the
Drink
water.
the water. Yeah, I was like, real shit.
Actually, the neighbor's got a lake.
Hey, well, there you go.
We got pots
that
and pans. I can build fire. I got propane. I got a lot of shit. I'm the go-to place to go to.
Oh, I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah, we got all the chicken you can eat.
Yeah.
And eggs.
We got beef right over here, but it ain't mine. But at the end of the world, who knows what's going on? So,
yeah.
But I'm just saying, I would be on the same page. I would go home. But I think about what I said to you earlier before the podcast. I think we're at a time now, people, with the tariffs, with all this shit going on, it's time to maybe stock up on a little bit. Europe, they had a pre-warning. They were telling Europe for the last month. Remember, we talked about this, stock up. We kept thinking it was for war. It turns out it was for a damn power outage. Like, who would have
That's because they tried going off a natural energy and the grid went down. They tried going off of solar paneling and all this shit, and it was set up for failure. And it was all because back in 2017, that one little girl, or 2021 or no 17, that little girl went on the air. Do you remember that little girl that went on the news over in Europe saying the power is killing people, and she was like doing it with this acting voice, and she was so compelling and like, oh, this poor child screaming, we need clean energy. So they went down that path and they set themselves up for failure. It didn't work.
I don't know.
That's a video I watched on YouTube, at least.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
So
that
I
was
don't know.
really paraphrasing, and you know that probably didn't make any sense. But look it up. There's a little girl, and she's a bad actress.
I just think about mass hysteria. I agree with you there, but I like to think that America's more civilized. Maybe I have higher hopes for us as a culture, but I hope we wouldn't just start dogging each other in fucking 24 hours. The power was down for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Oh God,
like,
no, nobody freak out on that.
Her name was Greta.
Greta. Thank you.
I feel like she was an actor, and she came out later in some other things as well. They outed her. We'll do a deep dive on her.
I think she was also in, never mind. The Grudge. That's what it was. She was in The Grudge.
The Ring
Girl. Yeah.
No, as far as other things going on, man, we were talking about another big issue going on. It's not really an issue. It's just a big topic, right? 100 people versus one gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we even get in this topic, I'm going to play a video just of a gorilla, two videos spliced together. And you really tell me what you think.
Oh, man.
Now, again, 100 people. We didn't say men. We didn't say women. Versus one gorilla. Who's got it and why?
And after watching that video, it's like, I want to work with animals. I'm a gorilla person. I got 13 gorillas at my house. Here goes the crazy gorilla lady. That'd be a thing.
Hey, that would be a wild thing. But I mean, what do you think? How do you think it will play out?
Man, after watching those videos and how big those fucking things are, Jesus Christ, I think they can take out 4 people in a punch. And if they just started swinging, I think the first 20 people would be doomed, but they would start dogpiling and taking them down, and eventually the people would win because there's 100 people. It's a no-brainer. But when I really started thinking about this earlier when you asked me, I was like, how can you take down a gorilla with 100 people? Oh, you can have a gun that's designed to shoot people and have a clip of 100 people and just start shooting them at the gorilla. But then I was like, that probably wouldn't happen.
Hey, so as far as for me, what's going on, Jared? What up, Paul? Hey, Paul said, man, them gorillas ain't nothing to mess with. So my thought is this. Now, if you were to say you have 24 hours to strategically come up with attacking a gorilla, there's a lot of things that play into the factor of this, right?
I got to put this right here just to put it in perspective.
So
I got to face it.
It's not even in the camera. Oh,
okay.
Well, as far as a few things come to mind, right? The first thing that comes to mind, is it immediate or do we have time, right? Can we plan? Can we not? The second part of this is, what temperament is the gorilla in when it starts, right? And positioning. So are we standing behind a door, like a metal see-through wall type thing, and the gorilla's on the other side, and it's docile?
Or is it like a wrestling stance where he's on all fours and you have your hand on his belly and one on his arm, and they say go?
You're fucked if that's the case. I'm just gonna say, if that's where you're starting, you're dead, and every 100 person, like the whole lineup is dead.
Okay.
If that's the case.
How few people do you think it would take if you had 24 hours, like you said? Is that what you're asking?
No, I wasn't asking. I was trying to give my scenario.
Go ahead.
You have to think about what, again, temperament is the gorilla in, So did you see that that polar bear chanced the man in Norfolk the other day because the man tried to shoot the polar bear? What? He ate? Dude, the polar bear ate? Polar bears, I would never want to fuck with a polar bear. But on the gorilla, again, if it's on the other side of a wall, temperament is chill, and you're just going to be able to rush it, could you maybe walk up like, hey, buddy, and like 15 to 20 people get close enough that then you dive on it and start getting its eyes and like go for that. But then you think a gorilla's mouth, right? They have fucking teeth, like fangs, right? Like vampire shit. So if this is the case, it's biting somebody. So you're losing 10, like you said in the first big slap, right? We've lost 10 people. The other side is they open that gate and they've got this fucking gorilla amped out of its fucking mind. And it's like, they got my babies. They got my babies. You know what I mean? And like, it just fucking rushes you as soon as the gate comes up. Nobody stands a chance. All 100 people are dead, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But you tell me. If it's amped out its fucking mind and it literally the gates lift, you wouldn't stand. It would grab you and use y'all as weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like, would beat the people with the people. Did you see how it just literally, come here, buddy? Just come with me. I just want to show you I'm strong. I would never. I don't care what nobody says. There's so many stipulations on the other hand that 100 people could win as well. Right? You get chance 24 hours to plan is a long time. To plan to attack one thing in a caged environment. We're going in waves, buddy. 20 at a time. First wave, you need to take out the eyes, run. As soon as you guys run out, we'll run in. We just got to keep the energy up. Drain that motherfucker.
I think it's gonna be like a Braveheart battle where you just know you're gonna have some casualties and everyone's gonna have to go balls to the wall.
100%.
Shake your dick at it,
100%.
show your ass, and fucking go balls to the wall and take that motherfucker down. Hopefully, you and a buddy can be like, dude, we got the left arm. We got the left leg. And each, like 2-3 people each go for a limb, and then people sneak up from behind and take the head because you got to get those chompers out the way. I figure a little good strategic planning, a good hour or so, and the right kind of people that are think clear-minded. You, me, and maybe a handful of others.
What me and you talked about earlier was the people make a huge difference, right? If you're taking 100 average people, like the way I said it, if we were to walk through our job, do we think we could find 100 people in our job that I would feel confident to rush a gorilla?
I know who I would pick. I know a couple people.
I have a few in my mind that I would give it a whirl.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even need 100 if I were to pick the people I feel that would. And this is the key. They don't have any bitching. Like, I'm getting the fullest potential out of them because the animal's going to see the bitch and you're going to be the first one dead because he's snatching your ass out. You need to go in there like you are the animal and you have to attack it like you're the animal. And that's the crazy part because someone has to go first. Who is the person that goes first?
You're all in it together. Realize that.
This is for the greater good.
And you know what? And if you go out swinging, you just get to see what's next before everybody else, because it doesn't finish after you die. By the way, it just you start something else. Could be a spider. And if I was the spider, I'd be spinning all types of webs, bro. I'd be spinning webs all the time, like all over the place.
Okay, so I want to switch out the gorilla then, if we're gonna do that, and put it like a grizzly bear.
A grizzly bear. Do you think it'd be harder for the grizzly? Yeah, definitely harder for the grizzly.
Well, Paul said the real question is girls versus grizzly bear. I agree, right?
Man,
but
grizzly bears are so thick-skinned and like
the hard as fuck to kill a grizzly, man.
Dude, just to pin one down or just.
But you think we could pin down a fucking gorilla? Like,
yeah,
I feel we have better odds with a grizzly than we do a gorilla.
I think a gorilla has limbs that you can pull and like.
A gorilla has hands. A bear don't. A bear has paws.
I know, but I've fought a bear
before.
It can
grab you. It can grab. Like, imagine a full-grown silverback, what we just saw, grabs the face of someone and just does this. You're not getting up. It may not kill you, but you're not getting up.
Yeah, I actually watched a video that said that a punch from a gorilla would literally fracture and break your skull.
So all I need to do is connect.
Yeah.
We're done. Waves.
A good example, have you ever seen Matrix Revolution when there's like Agent Smith keeps running to the playground and Neo's just taking out buckets of them with that
Mhm, with
fucking
that shaft.
with that pole he pulls out of the ground. That's what it would look like, but with people and a gorilla.
I believe that.
And if you, how about you? How many people do you think it would take to take out a honey badger? Because that would be a much easier thing.
20.
20 for a honey badger, you think?
100%. Someone's getting, I mean, really realistically 10, but
Man.
all 10 of you are getting bit.
I guarantee you, if there's any bitch in anybody is coming out with a honey badger, because with a gorilla, you're like, okay, I'm probably gonna die if it connects with me. With a honey badger, you're like, I probably won't die, but this thing's gonna fuck me up. It's gonna hurt, and somebody would rather hurt than just have the lights shut off.
Man,
Knock
I was gonna
me out.
say, going to sleep, you don't feel anything, right?
Yeah.
That thing is ripping your flesh out.
If all it can grab is like my balls,
I was just thinking, the first thing it's hitting is testicles.
it's not beyond that thing to digest them while he's fighting me. I just know that honey badgers are just fucking sick,
The
and
most
crazy,
ruthless.
and yeah,
They say they're like armored. Like,
yeah,
they can
probably
just
like
keep
20 to
coming.
take down a honey badger.
I would say 20, and the only reason I say that is that's for somebody to come out unscathed. One person out of that 20 will come out unscathed. Because the thing's going to target somebody. When you do, you just got to keep stomping its head. Eventually, you're going to get the shot that at least stuns it, and you can do the rest.
Okay.
Now,
yeah, I've watched when animals
So-
attack so many times.
me too. It's crazy.
Yeah, we gotta stop
So
talking about
what
this.
would be no firearm allowed? Okay, first and foremost, this is for everybody out there. No firearm allowed. 5 people, and what weapon takes out the gorilla?
What? A weapon and 5 people?
Yep, you get
No firearm?
each person gets a weapon, no firearm, so no gunpowder allowed, no cross bolts, no crossbows, no arrows, all that scratched.
Well, that's
You have to
serious.
have a handheld weapon. Spear is a handheld weapon that does not projectile, but can be thrown if you want to throw it. So no slingshot here. But what would you pick? Nunchuck, samurai sword. Would you guys be the Ninja Turtles? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you have? One's got the tridents, one's got the nunchucks,
Man,
one's got the shaft.
everybody shows up with all this shit like that. Here goes Casey. I got brass knuckles.
I'm gonna put it on them, go. Put me in the game, coach.
Yeah, that's what it look like. That's scary.
Get in the box. You gotta be in the box. You know what I'm saying? Come out the box.
Oh, gorilla. Who's the bitch now? Yeah.
I'm the bitch. I'm the bitch. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. Hey, that's real shit. Oh man,
I love you, Paula.
Did you see what King Kong did to Godzilla? Grabbed it by the mouth and just separated it.
Damn.
That's all I gotta say. But as far as
I was just thinking when
anything
King Kong
hand to
went
hand,
home
you're
and did the
screwed.
Mrs. Kong.
LOL, you'll need something that you can chuck at him or have reach. LOL. That's what Paul says.
If it was 5 people with a weapon, I say our weapon would be Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris.
Jason Stratham, John Jones. We're calling in all substitutes. My tag team partner today is
Regis Philbin comes in. Would you like to phone a friend?
real shit. Oh man, no.
Shit, I'm calling my mom. She's been through it. If my mom can't handle this.
Hey, they'd be thinking we're sacrificing people for the show at that point. Like, don't do anything for
I
the
thought
fame.
you could reason with them.
Oh, look. Oh, man, that's
Damn.
awesome. I thought you
Oh, that's a new hip.
Oh, look. I thought you were a salesman.
Sorry, mom.
For me, 100%, what weapon would you... So, I'm picking a spear. I would love for it to be diamond tipped, sharpened with like titanium.
You are the
reinforcement.
bougiest spear owner I've ever met.
No, the reason you want diamond tip is going to be the sharpest cut. It cuts through glass. It does all that shit. So if you put it at the tip with the titanium backing, it's going to be strong enough to get in there. And then you want to have the blades reversed so you can pull out. Because, again, it's handheld. I don't want to be close. It's got to be longer than thing's arm because it's dangerous. You see in the videos, they'll jump in the fights. They come running. So if me and you stood ground
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
why wouldn't you just pick like a sword? I mean, seriously, like if
Fuck, man, I'm not fast enough.
I had a katana and that thing came at me, and if I just swing and hit part of this thing, it's gonna have a bad day. It's cutting a tendon, and I know for a fact it won't be able to move its pinky like this anymore. And now we're coming ahead of the fight.
I'm just
like,
gonna
You
say-
get his middle finger, I'll get his thumb.
Again, if it's a group of 5, I guess you could mix it up, but I would definitely
If
want
it's
a
a group of-
spear.
Oh,
If
God.
you had your samurai, so now we got 2 different weapons.
Oh, a group of 5 people. I think
yeah.
that's
So
group of
what
5
are we
girls.
arming? We got a katana specialist, got the spear.
Spear.
I'd want another spear worker.
Paula would be there with a bow with her pool stick.
So she'd be the other spear worker.
You know what? I want Paula to be there with me because if I go,
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
abandon your team on this one, and I'm gonna get my own team. No offense, Paula. No offense, but like
Paula,
they would.
I wanted you to be on my team.
Hey,
Because Stacy
you
doesn't
know
want to
what
be on
he
her team
just
anymore.
said? He said he's so selfish. He wants you to die with him, Paula.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. That's 100% what I said. And if you don't take Asia with you, you don't have it.
Hey, you keep your ass at home.
Nope.
Somebody got to take care of the little dude.
Okay,
You know what I'm supposed to take Stacy too?
I just
Hey,
picked
the whole
Asia as my
family
second
rocking
pick, so.
No, honestly, I've always thought I always wanted to go bear hunt with like a Bowie knife, and then I realized how big a bear was, and realized, all right, I'd have to do a spear. Like, but the Native Americans, they hunted with spears. They were eradicate some of the deadliest animals on the planet with spears.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hunt anything that's like that precious, that
What's precious?
unique. A bear? Bears, aren't they like going extinct and shit? No,
Polar bears? I didn't say polar bear. I just said a bear. I wanted to get a brown bear. I didn't want a grizzly. Are you out of your mind? Wow, C+P. That's love. That's
right.
love. That's sweet. I just want to say, you're crazy. If anybody wants to take their significant other to die with them, that's wild. But I appreciate it. That's love. But I will
So would
say,
me.
someone has to play medic at the end of it. So she may be an ultimate medic.
I'd probably fight a little bit harder, you know. If I
100%.
knew that he's taking her out
Ain't
next.
no bitch in me. One of those, yeah. Flip out. So this leads into side hustles because, as you know, Casey's been making knives, and for him to not say he would pick a knife that he made to go fight
And you know what?
a
I was gonna
gorilla
say
really
that-
says a lot. Because now I'm questioning how great is the side hustle that he wouldn't go fight a gorilla with his knives.
I said a katana.
But you know, you got a knife over here. You didn't pick that one. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't want to get that close to it.
Fair.
Okay.
I can't argue that. I mean, that's a fair statement.
Side hustles. Okay, and side hustles is not driving for fucking Uber. It is
It
not.
is a side hustle. It's better than it ain't a full-time job.
I think
That
side
would be
hustle.
considered a side hustle.
I think a full-time job and then something that a side hustle would be like almost like a passion that you're working towards. Maybe it's something that's not
That
feasible.
wouldn't be a side hustle. That would be a hobby.
It's a side hustle, but if it's all work and no play, it makes Jack a very sad person.
That's
Wherever
you.
it goes.
But a hobby is a hobby. A side hustle is to make profit.
If you like what you do you not work a day in your life?
Yeah, but you can lose money doing
Okay,
it.
but you can gain peace of mind. There's a balance, is my point. Okay, so if I can make a side hustle, that being said, off of knives, which is a desired thing, especially for hunters or any guy that wants, a custom made knife, that's a badass skill. I didn't think I'd ever be good at it, and here I am getting fucking awesome at it.
I think
So-
you're good at whatever you put your mind to.
And not only that, it's therapeutic and fun. So I would like to sell those and make money on side hustle, but also this
So
summer
for the record, see him on YouTube. Casey Falconry on YouTube.
in hobbies, we've been we're getting about almost 4 dozen every day on eggs. So
That's not a hobby anymore. That's a profitable business.
It's what it costs like $400 a month to take care of them. So with how much we're selling in eggs and also eating the cost, it pretty much evens out. So it's not that. But if we weren't selling the eggs as a side hustle, we wouldn't be able to do this hobby.
Most
So it's a
businesses
catch-22.
don't go black the first year.
We
So,
would never
for you
hire.
to be
Oh, what do you
breaking
mean?
even to go. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh, oh man! As far as going profitable, the first year, most businesses do not do that.
And that's why we
So
need the
for
real
you
jobs.
to hit where you're at, but I'm saying to get where you're at, really in the first true year of dedicating to the eggs, to be even breaking even is a good point right now, because you're going to be to a point soon where you'll be profitable. Because again, we haven't got to the strong egg laying season, right? We
Right.
still are building up. You may be at 7 dozen a day. You never really know.
Yeah, and actually, every time we go to Rule King and there's a new breed that we don't have, Paula's grabbing 2 or 3 of them bitches.
Hey,
Okay.
well, hens,
Hens,
2 or 3 of them hens.
hens.
It's gonna be good eating one day when you
Egg
finally
layers.
open up to just, all right, you gotta go. We're gonna fry chicken wings, have a barbecue tonight. It's gonna be good eating.
And all of our pepper plants are going, so we're gonna have those pickles this summer that we're gonna be selling. I want to do pickled eggs, and between that, the knives and shit, we're gonna get a flea market going, man. So Paula wants to like plan for next year for the flea market thing, but definitely gonna try out some shit. So if anybody has good
Let me
ideas
know.
for
I
sign
got
up,
some jellies and jams and sauces. Side hustles. Again, when you find something you love, you turn it into something. And like,
Yep.
I love to cook. The
Yep.
things I enjoy, I make, and I can make in batches to where I'm able to sell it. That's where I think you get a good side hustle. Again, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be taking over it's a side hustle, right?
Mhm.
So it's just earning a little bit extra just to get you through whatever. That's why I say I think Uber and Lyft could be defined as a side hustle depending the vehicle you drive, because sometimes it's just a money thing.
Well, I
But
think everybody's kind of feeling the cost of, I hate to say it, the tariffs and shit. It seems
I
like,
really don't.
well, every time we go to Walmart, it's more and more money. So I mean, I'm not bringing that shit
I
up as a
just-
topic, but things have not gotten cheaper
We
yet.
talked
go
about
that
this
far.
on lunch, and I said that it's crazy that we're seeing companies go up in price right now, because even Amazon said the tariffs haven't hit yet. So when you think about that and you think about all these little side companies that the prices are going up and they're blaming tariffs, sounds to me like they're price gouging before the tariffs hit. So it's really going to be crazy because it's already getting out of hand. And that's scary because they're saying in 2 to 4 weeks, if you start watching the ports right now, the ports are getting empty. We're not seeing a lot of things come in. If that is the case, I think that now is the time, like I said earlier, go get your toilet paper, get your bottled water, get the things that you need, and at least have a month's supply, because I don't see it going further than a month, because either the people here are going to have a fucking outrage, and they're going to have so much surplus that the moment it gets open, you can guarantee they're going to be pumping that shit in because they need to make the money back. So just get ready for a rough wave. But I also think the power outage in Europe was a test run to kind of see what they're going to do to us. What do you think?
That's what the first thing Paula said. She said, she's like, they're testing it out there. Just do it here. Who knows? And I was like, oh, that's a good theory. I mean, shit, they always try something out first. Just like when all the cell phones didn't work that
Didn't
one
they
day.
test it when they hit North Carolina's power grid and the power grid went down?
Well, I mean,
Like
that's
you
just
just
another
said, the
situation.
cell phones was another good example, because
And
you see them go down randomly in different areas.
and I have my own theories. These are all great theories. I mean, and the whole thing about the energy and all that stuff. I think a kid got tired and walked away from the game.
Simulation.
Let me emphasize on that. We started out with dinosaurs, and now here we are, millions of years later, and this kid has played every fucking upgrade of Sims in this program, and he got so
Now
fucking
he's in
boring.
Grand Theft Auto.
He did something that's like, oh shit, what's going on over here? He walked away from the game and he forgot to reset the power grid in that continent. And he came back. He's like, oh shit, now we're coming up with excuses. In reality, we're getting forgotten, and the whole world is going to go up soon. There's going to be outages everywhere, mass deaths, unexplainable disease.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, because the kid's going to walk away from the game again. He's not going to come back. He's going to be like the dog left alone who doesn't have thumbs.
So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to bring it back to the real world. I think it ties into participation trophies. Swear to God. Everybody got told they were great. Nobody got told they were shitty. And now everybody thinks they're awesome. So their pride is, no, my mommy said I'm special. I'm smart, damn it. And really, they're dumb as a box of rocks. And my favorite joke is, At least when we were kids, we knew who was different because they rode the short bus. Now they're all amongst us. And it's a real thing. It's a joke. Ha ha. But it's real. We don't know who the dummies are anymore. And I say that because we talked about this. What happened to wanting to be the best? This is where I think the demise of America is. And I say this because I'm going to play a video from China. This is a little old, but I want you to watch it and I want your opinion.
分了7个工作面，同步推进施工。
Now, at the end of this, it was a full train station. I just didn't want to keep playing it.
You just got to just, wow, they're pretty incredible.
No, it's what you talk about. They focus. We in America
I think it's pretty incredible.
So distracted from everything that we can't focus. In China, they want to beat America.
They were even doing that in the pouring rain. I think you saw it.
Rain. I was like,
I think you saw it.
I was like, wait a minute.
And then,
I thought I was tripping for a minute. I was like, I know I didn't just hear it like that. Like, what?
no, and I heard that recently that people in China, it doesn't matter if you're a custodian or you're a bus driver or you're a friggin' whatever.
Shovel shit.
You are the best at it that you can be. Because everybody does their part. Get in where you fit in. That's a good thing.
And what's crazy is we don't do that. Everybody wants to be somebody else. One of my biggest pet peeves with my son, I tell him all the time, you are not the person from YouTube, you are Stacy. You will be Stacy. You will have your own thoughts and opinions. You will not be warped by other people. So you know what? Cut that off. No more of that. We got to desensitize you from it. Because we're in a world of, we're in America where everybody wants to be somebody else. Nobody wants to be themselves because we're pumped full of bullshit. The average person isn't what you see on TikTok. The average person isn't what you see in these people flying in jets. The average person right now, living with these tariffs, living in America, is struggling. And we're blessed and fortunate that me and Casey get to come on here and have conversations in a home, in a safe place, in a secure place, that we get to go to a secure job, that we get to do a job we enjoy. We're blessed in that matter. We're blessed in the manner of the fact that we're not struggling. We can pay our bills, but majority of America, right now, not majority, a large portion of America is in the position where they can't. And I think that if people focused and really fucking tried and did their best, shit might be a little different.
Well, that goes in every situation.
No, but
you
man,
gotta say, I know I can.
no, because think about how many people
Be
get the
what I gotta
job
be.
and quit trying.
Work hard at it.
Think about how many people get what they wanted and they quit trying. How many people achieve the goal and don't set another one? They were satisfied with mediocre.
I don't
They-
know. How
no, I'm
many?
saying,
It's
like-
like
But I'm saying when you think about that, I'm saying with us, when we look around and we see, there are a lot of people that I can say on the day-to-day I see that are cool with mediocre.
yeah,
I've
I
fallen
agree
into
with
that.
you 100%.
But I'm saying I've fallen in that category. Even at work, I'm like, fuck it, at least I'm doing what I need to do.
When I look around and I see people, I think in my head, and I don't say it, I judge the shit out of everybody.
Who doesn't?
If I look at you for longer than a second, I'm thinking about things that you could probably improve on yourself. And trust me, I look at the mirror all the time, and I have a million things I can improve on myself. That's
Yeah,
why I
sure.
don't bring them up to you. But I'm just saying, there's things.
Hold on, hit him with it. Hit him with it.
Oh, dude, my hair is fucking amazing. Look at that.
Partial 70s rock star, partial fat.
Man,
It might fall in the same, but I know who loves it.
this hair can go
loves
manliest
it?
of manliest. It can go gayest of gayest.
Who
But as
loves it?
long as Paula loves it, that's
I've been
all that
waiting on
matters.
her to comment it. That's why I said it so many times. I know
Paula's been
Paula
saying, "Are you
loves
sure you
it.
don't want a haircut?" I think she's starting to want me to get a
I
haircut.
think you
I
you
think
should
she
rock
looks-
the man bun.
No,
You
'cause
got the hair. You got the texture.
that
it's
is
thick, full, luscious
so
lock.
gay. And I
It's
mean
not
that,
gayer than the mullet.
and I mean that exactly how it sounded.
It's not gayer
Not
than the
homosexual.
mullet.
That's so gay. I'm not gonna put a fucking man bun
Why not? Why not?
unless like I am
Paula,
unless
put
I
him
am
in a man bun
100%
tomorrow.
accurate with samurai, the way of the samurai, and I walk around with my katana and my bun and my
Hey,
dress.
Devin,
thing.
if you're listening, get this man a poncho and get him a samurai sword.
And I better know how to speak Japanese, and my wife better be Japanese, and I better have a
Teach me,
Japanese
Tom.
son who is scared to like fuck
Paula,
up.
we got a
and-
geisha outfit for you. We're gonna make this happen. I'm not gonna make the other joke because it's a little fucked up.
Oh,
so I'm
speaking
not
of
gonna
joke.
do it.
Speaking of joke, my buddy at work, he told me a joke
shit.
the other day. It is so funny, and I don't want to take credit for it because it wasn't my joke. So
Shout out Chase.
no, you can't say who told the
Oh.
joke.
Shit. Sorry.
It wasn't.
Shout out Brian.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Brian. All right. Well,
Oh, that's
the
funny.
joke goes. Oh, hold on. Show ideas. Okay, we have a category in notes. Okay, here's the joke. You ready?
Fire away.
What's the difference between a hospital in Israel and a terrorist group in Israel?
Fire away.
I don't know, man. I just fly the drones.
Hey, that is terrible.
It's my favorite.
Hey, that's
I don't know,
terrible.
man. I just fly the drones.
That's crazy.
And the other one, I'm not gonna say that because that
No.
was my favorite
No,
one. out of
no,
the three.
no, no.
Okay, what do you say to a feminist with no arms or legs? Nice tits, bitch.
That's all she's got left at that point.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at those two because if that doesn't, then
Oh,
the
that's
third one
funny.
definitely will. So I'm not gonna.
We gotta hear it.
No. No, if you want to, you can ask. If I get 20 people asking to hear it, I'll say it on the next show. But the next
There
one's
we
pretty
go.
bad.
Okay. Hey, 20 people. We need like, share, follow. Get
You
your
don't want
friends to
20
like,
people.
share, follow. We want to hear the joke. But I'm gonna go back to what happened to wanting to be the best. You always want to be the best. I can think of many times that when
You know
you
what?
start
You
something, you,
wouldn't-
want to be the best.
You wouldn't try to be the best at something unless you knew there's things that you couldn't be the best
But
at.
did
So
that go with the side hustle?
once you feel as if you achieved it, you move on. So unless there's a
But if you're doing side hustles, and this is where I think about it, don't you want to be the best knife maker?
okay, well that's talking about two different things. I mean,
They're not. They're the same.
yeah, for me they are.
Yeah.
But for someone else driving for Uber, I mean, yeah, be the best Uber driver. I guess that would be.
Well, there's other people that have other hobbies. I mean, I like to make, for instance, I'm trying to perfect this strawberry lemonade concentrate, which, of course, is the one Tuesday I don't have strawberry lemonade. Now I'm pissed because I forgot it the last 2 weeks. But I'm trying to, once I perfect this concentrate, it'll be able to be sold and jarred just like the soups and the sauces. And I think that's going to be a good one for the summer. But I enjoy cooking. I enjoy when little man is like, oh, this is the best, Dad. And then to be able to share it and possibly make profit out of it, that's fair. And I'm one of those people that when it comes down to it, I'm cool with breaking even because at least I got my money back out of it. Which, speaking of, I normally do fireworks, and this year it's gotten, with the tariffs, this is something that is affecting me. They have gotten astronomically priced. And I think that anybody who normally does fireworks, if you do get in touch with me, we can get in on a bulk order. I can get them directly from that true fireworks supplier here in Missouri. There's nothing, it's all legit. It's just you have to have a little bit larger order for them to supply it, but it does save you money.
ice cream.
I don't have a Bluebell Connect, but I do have a Firework Connect. So again, as far
No, I just had to
coverage.
throw it
I
out
was
there. I
like-
like ice cream.
I
but,
was
yeah.
like, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that because that's one of those things that I think tariffs are going to really affect us, and I'm hurt on that. And that's normally a side hustle that I
You know what?
partake
And I've seen fireworks before, and I've seen your fireworks and your clips, and yeah, fireworks are cool. I never got it. I never got the urge to go, oh, let's go buy some fireworks and shoot them up in the sky and look at them. To me, it is like shooting off dollars into the
I
air.
thought you don't care about money.
I don't, but
So then
that's
that is a
also
contradiction.
why I wouldn't go out of my way to buy something that I don't like to look at.
Yeah, if you don't like them, that's totally
I
different.
wouldn't make if I make the money, I'm going to put it towards something I want. I'm
But
not
if-
going to go throw it away.
But the key word was you don't like, right?
I don't
so-
like fireworks, so why would I buy them?
Exactly. Why would you?
Exactly. Why would I? I wouldn't. They're stupid.
Exactly. So it doesn't make sense to you.
They're dumb.
Stupid. That's great.
Fireworks are
understand?
stupid.
That's fair.
They're stupid.
That's just one of the biggest things we use to celebrate our country. But whatever. I mean, that's fair.
And China's better at making it. We buy them from China.
You buy them from China? Because I don't buy them from China.
Everybody buys them from China.
I buy them from an American-based company. You
I'm
may
just,
buy
I'm
them
just being
from China.
contradictotive. I'm being an
I mean,
asshole
that's
to be an
fine.
asshole.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's
What
why
are
I'm
you
not
drinking?
engaging it.
Oh, it's all gone.
Because at the end of the day, for me, that's my Christmas. So
And
It
at
is
the end
what
of the
it
day,
is.
you got this.
you do. That's why I gave you that cup. I
Oh, it's
wanted to
mine?
motivate you, not to it's not to keep. It was to use.
I
Yes,
can keep it.
this guy. As you can tell,
To take down this guy, I'll need 99 friends.
I'm not a gorilla, not by any means.
No, he's too friendly and nice.
Actually, it only took about 8.
I know, but you got some of us. Oh man, what a great day! It's gonna be a beautiful day tomorrow.
Hey, all the April showers should bring some beautiful Mayflowers.
Gotta love it.
Hoping prosperity, wins, greatness on everyone. No cuts this May. No cut May, right?
And live in the now. Enjoy this beautiful weather and this beautiful time, and enjoy your health because things are gonna get worse.
Maybe not,
Or they're gonna get worse.
or maybe not. I'm Stacy.
I'm Casey.
You guys have